apart from having string, integer, and float, also we should know about some composite data structure. So I'm just like going very fast, not explaining the string, integer, and float types, but more focused on the composite data structure which we need for that whole course. So one of these two are arrays and dictionaries, and then user defined types. So if, for example, if we have a variable, for example, text is a text, so that's how we create a variable of type string. So if we run that, now there is a handy type function, type of. We can check what is the type of that variable. Type, not typo. And it doesn't show anything. So type of a text, so that's a string, that's what we can see. So we can create a integer or a float. So if I write a float equal 1.5, and then type of a float, that's a float 64. So we can see like that function is very handy to check if which variable has which type. Now more complex types will be using these basic types to create a composite type, which can be an array. So we can write an array equal the array, and we can put a text, a float. So we can put them in an array, and and now we can check the type of a float. Type of the array. So I will just put a little bit of space and then run it. So we can check like the array is a type array with any. So Julia also accept what will be the type of each element here. As we have given a text and a float, the compiler decided to go for any, which is the top in the type hierarchy. So any type belongs to any type, like that type called any. So there will be the top hierarchy will be any, and then for example for integer, so then under that it will be like a real number maybe, and then it will have some others. So you create any type, can be a string or integer, but that belongs to that type any. So if Julia is not sure which type should be the internals, it will put type any, but we can restrict that. We can create an exact array with internal types. So an array with type will be array, and we can specify the type. So we can specify that will be a string, and we can initialize that with undefined values of 10 values. So we can just run that. So as we can see, we get a 10 element array with the undefined values. So now that's how we can restrict the internal type of an array. Another data structure is key and value pairs, which is a dict. So we can create a dict. A dict is dict type, and then each key value pairs we can do, for example, A is 1, and then B is 2. So now we can check the type of a dict. We can see the key is a string and the value is an integer. Now, as it's already decided that the key should be a string and value should be integer, if we provide a string as a value, that dict is not going to accept that. So to add some value in the dictionary, we can write a dict, and we can put a new key as a, for example, C equal string, and then it should throw error, like it's not able to convert the string into integer. So either we have to predefine, if we want to store a string and numbers in the same dict, we have to predefine that. And the way to do that is we can define a dict with type. That will be a dict, and in the curly brace we will add the key and value types. So the key will be string and the type will be union of two different types. So we can also put, if you only expect two different types, can be the value, and the way is to write is a union, and then the union will have curly brace and then a string and integer. So that's a way to do. So we can create an empty dict. Now actually we are able to store either integer or a string. So I will put A is a key and the value is 1. That runs. I can take the same and B, and I will put string at an empty string, or maybe I'll just fill it up, and it also stored that. So now that's how you can combine, and also for array it's possible to combine this. So there is some built-in functions for the array and dict. We are going to discuss that in the next video about what is this built-in functions, but also before we are going to discuss about the function first, and then we are going to discuss about that function we can use for the array and dict. Thanks.